this is really typical. She's only been here a few days. She had a couple days to settle in. Her first real work session was yesterday. I just videotaped how hard it is for her to stand still in this exact situation. And it so happens she's due for a dewormer. So obviously, the better and stronger she gets at the learning frame of mind, especially in halt, the better everything else goes. Because shifting into the parasympathetic nervous system is self-rewarding. It feels good to feel safe. So it's constantly rewarding. So now we have a real dewormer to give. And no matter how much you try to sweeten the pot or prepare a horse, they can smell the dewormer as soon as you take the cap off. And she's probably not going to be great at this. I've never done this with her before. So I'm just going to go through the steps of how we might do this. So she already smells it and she sees the tube. And yeah, she's not happy about it, right? So the key is not to try to control the head. I have my hand on the halter loosely, mostly so that she doesn't come at me and whack my head. But if she throws her head up or out, I'm not going to take a strong hold on the halter. I'm going to have the lead rope pretty short. If she really gets upset, I'm going to go to here so I don't get my fingers hurt here. So the first thing I'm doing is not going directly to her. While I'm talking to the camera, she can smell this. She knows what's coming, right? And then if I move it a little closer, she definitely knows what's coming. So then what I want to do is see if she'll let me touch, right? If I can touch the outside, she can still smell it, right? And then especially if I can touch the lips, that's why I have my hand there so I don't get my head conked, right? I want her to feel free to move her head around and express her opinion. But right now you can see she has her lips pretty tight. She has her mouth all, no, I'm not going to take it. And so I'm just rubbing the side of the mouth with the open dewormer. I have the plunger is set so I can put the whole dewormer in. I usually give the entire dewormer or oral syringe because sometimes a big blob of it comes back out. They don't swallow it. You can do it, obviously, if it's way over their body weight, I wouldn't give the whole thing. But if it's somewhat close, I always give a little extra because they're going to spit some of it out. So that's pretty good. She's accepting this. I have a very, very loose hold on the halter, or none. And I should be able to kind of rub the lips on both sides. Right? But I'm not even attempting to put it in. So if she tosses her head, if she put her head up, I would just keep rubbing, rubbing, rubbing until she looked a little bit more like this. And she's kind of distracted. I want her mind in the game. So now what I'm going to do, try to turn her head. Her lips are starting to relax. She's distracted by the neighbors. Hello. Right? But there, she's back with me. Right? And if she accepts me rubbing the lips, I can sort of get my hand ready on the plunger. And I'm going to rub, rub, rub on the side of the lips. Then I'm just going to kind of stick it way in there. Get at least half the tube in and plunge. Yuck. It's a necessary part of life. It doesn't taste good, but they can learn to take the bad taste and deal with it. And then the important part is afterwards, right? I'm going to rub again. I might even put it in her mouth, but I'm not putting more dewormer in. I'm just sort of running the tube in and out until she can kind of relax with that step. So this went way better than I expected. She was actually very, very gentle about the whole thing. Right? So done and done. Right? And even if it took me an hour to get her that relaxed and that gentle, and even if I had to break it into 2 or 3 sessions, basically what she showed was she was relaxed, she loosened up her lips, she wasn't feeling defensive, that's what told me I could go ahead and put it in her mouth. As long as she's tossing her head around, avoiding it, or trying to push me out of the way or lift her head away, then I'm just going to stay at the rubbing phase until she lowers her head, loosens her lips, sort of is with me, and then I can just stick it right in the side of the mouth and plunge. So for some horses that have a really nasty association, because people sometimes do it too fast, and if you put the dewormer in the mouth, if you manage to get it in a couple of times while the horse is still highly defensive, then they just get harder and harder and harder to deworm or give an oral syringe. And so those are the horses with a history of having to take the dewormer while they're in a state of fear and defensiveness that may take several sessions or quite a long time to arrive at that acceptance and cooperation you just saw. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. They can come back from it. But if I don't achieve that calm state, even soft lips, before I give the dewormer, and then again being able to rub the mouth after I give the dewormer, then the next time I go to deworm is going to be harder. And so horses have fantastic memories, and they learn what happens in sequence. So for some horses, as soon as you take the cap off the dewormer, they're running backwards or plowing through you because they associate the smell with the fear. So it just depends on their history or how they have a personal reaction to the smell or having something in their mouth or the bad taste. And then we're still repeating this lesson. That's going to take a while, but she's done very, very well today. And she really did better than I thought. I would have maybe over-prepared her, but she was overdue for her dewormer, so we needed to get that done. And just taking a tiny bit of time with it, plus the work we just did, made it all come together pretty easy.